up, guys? Welcome back. So this video, I know it's been quite a few weeks since I posted. I'm going to post an update on the 740 build. It's been a while since I've posted. I did have the surgery on the side of my head done. I got that tumor or mass removed from the side of my head, and that all healed up and got the stitches taken out a couple days ago. I ended up switching jobs, stuff like that, and then me and my 5-month-old ended up getting COVID, so we've been out for about 5 days and still recovering. She's I think she still got it. I think my wife might have it now, but I did get the motor back before we ended up getting COVID. That tumor mass I had removed, it came back benign, so it's not cancerous, so that's a good bonus. But I did get the block back. They did bore it over and everything. Called Wiseco. I don't know if I said in the last video. This will probably be a video mixed with the last filming that I did. I don't think I ever edited that video and put it up on YouTube. Ended up getting busy and all that stuff and all that, you know, good jazz. So they did bore it over to the 96.5 millimeter that it needed, or the 20 over, I think. And then Wiseco said for the amount of boost I'll be running, that I need to run about 4.5 thousandths piston to wall clearance. Factory's about 3.5. So we ended up doing that, and still have yet to order the turbo. Gonna go through Cometic and get the head gasket and then ARP head studs. I don't know if I'm gonna try to port the cylinder head myself, or if I'm just gonna buy a 531 head, if I can find one and throw it on there. Just find a reman. But yeah, been trying to work on the motor here and there. I haven't filmed any of it because I've been sick and coughing and hacking. I don't want really any of that on video. But been sick enough, I haven't even made much progress, to be honest. So yeah, without further ado, let's jump into the progress I got done. The room's a mess because I haven't cleaned up. I've just been coming in, you know, taking little stabs here and there at it. But yeah, let's jump into it and show you what we got going. So right here is where I've been gapping the rings. Just been using this piston to push the rings down flush in the bore the best I can. And I did get these two pistons, got the rings done on them. So I just have this piston and that one left to do on the rings. As you can see, I didn't feel like doing it anymore, so I stopped. But the top ring, we were doing a see if I can get that on video, a 24 what was that, thousandths, 24 hundredths of an inch, something like that. And the other, so that's the top ring. The second ring is a 25, and then we also did a 7 with that, so it makes it 32. And then the oil rings, just those two thin oil rings there, those I did around like 20, you know, I think like, was it 25? Yeah, 25 thousandths on that lower ring. Sorry, I'm still trying to get over this crap. But I do have my ring filer here. It does work pretty good. Just have it clamped to my desk, you know, chewing the desk up a little bit, but whatever. And as far as the block goes, I have the front and rear timing covers put on, or not timing cover, but the front cover and the rear main cover put on with new seals. I did just get this pulley just on there, not, I don't think completely tight, but for the balance shaft, got it oiled up. And these are the cylinders. Let me get my phone light to see if I can give you a better look at them. They did a pretty good job, I would say. It's only 150 bucks, but you can see in there the cylinders are all bored and honed. So they did good there. They did check the head surface to make sure it was level, and they said it was perfectly fine. They did have to steam pressure the block again to clean it up. Surprisingly enough, this paint held up better than I thought it would. Besides areas that were like oil soaked down here that I couldn't really get clean, that I just got to touch up, and just some other small spots. But this side, pretty much nothing on it came off. So I did get the you know, small stuff put on it. The pistons, one thing I will show you is I made a mistake and I forgot to get what are they called? Crank steered rods instead of piston steered. As you can see, these are piston steered factory, so they have slight clearance up top, whereas the Wiseco's have, as you can see here, they have a lot of movement. So these are unfortunately the same width, 24.8 millimeters as the stock ones, and if you're going to run crank steered, you're going to need 29.5 millimeters, I believe. So I'll show you the rods that I'll be getting. Hopefully going to order those pretty soon so I can get the pistons and the cylinders and get the oil pan back on with the new oil pump, all that good jazz, and get the head gasket and head studs, get the head back on, and put it on the engine stand off to the side in here, or probably up over here, just have an engine stand for a little bit. But yeah, let me get this motor turned over so I can show you one of the things I got from a guy on a Volvo page that I've been hunting down. I don't know if the last video I filmed I had it in there. I don't think I did. But yeah, let me get this flipped over for you and show you what we got. As you guys can see here, we ended up finding someone over in the States, I think it was in Massachusetts, that was selling their overboost racing, what do you call it, main cap girdle or block brace, one of the two. And so we got that from him, and it is beefy. I mean, you can see there, the sealant pushed out, so I ended up just wiping it across. But as you can see, it's pretty beefy. Has the spacers that go inside there, the clearances, so I mean it clears all that. As you can see there, it clears all of the, see if I can get my hand in there, all of the braces or the spacers or whatever you want to call them. Clears all that, shouldn't be hitting. You do have to, these are the oil pan bolts, I just used them in there to help hold the sealant on there. But you take these out and you use sealant between the plate and the block, and then a regular gasket down here. So, and this can be flipped over, I always say 180 degrees, and the oil pan bolts won't line up. As you can see, I made the mistake and it got some RTV on there I got to scrape off. But make sure you do have it going the right way first, and you shouldn't have a problem. Let me see if I can get that rotated back. There we go. But yeah, it should be a key piece that we need to make the power and withstand the 40 psi boost that we're going to be running. So that's that there. You can see all of the spacers in there and all that stuff. On that one there, because the oil pump does go there, you have to use the original bolts and all that, but this did come with new bolts that are longer. Those are already torqued down to the specification they need to be. And I did use the Cornwell digital torque wrench that does angle. Thing works great. Pricey, but it works great. But yeah, that's all of the update I have on the motor. Just got the front and rear covers on there, and just got the balance shaft put in, and that's about it really. I did use some assembly lube from Melling on the crank bearings, but when I got it torqued down, the crank was hard to turn because that stuff's real sticky. It's a high tack. So I tore it back down, cleaned the bearings, and put engine oil on there and retorqued them. I did put a little bit of oil on each bolt, like the guys over at Overboost said to do, just to make sure you get even torque on them. But I think that's about all I got. I mean, it's a mess over here. It is a mess, and I do have the, let's see here, the Glyco bearings. Those bearings, they went into the rods just fine, honestly. I didn't have a problem with them at all yet. I did have to remove them back out of the block because, like I said, these are supposed to be for OEM pistons. which I'm probably going to be selling these rods. Or, I mean, I could keep them and put them on the stock pistons I have over there and just use them for another brick that I get, because I know I'm probably going to have another brick at some point. So that wouldn't be bad to have. But the rods that I am getting do fit the tighter clearance on the crank. In fact, I think I have them on my phone. Let me see if I can pull these up for you. Should be. I was going through eBay to get them because I have all my PayPal and stuff on there, so it makes it easy. So these are the crank steered rods. They're a lot more expensive because they're coming from K1 Technologies. You see they're $857, 3-day shipping though. Still the 152 millimeter length. I don't know, that's the only photo they got, but if I go to their specs, they have one here. Of course they don't, so I have to go to their website. Let's see if I can find, there we go. So there's a photo of the rods there. As you can, I don't know if you can see from the photos, but that's a lot thicker than the OEM or the ones that I have. So that's still up at the small end, that's still 24.8, but the big end is now 29.5. As you can see, 29.46 for the main bearing width, 23 millimeters still on the pin, and 24.8 on the small end. So these should be a direct drop in. They are I-beams, which makes them a little more expensive. Also, I-beams are supposed to be better for a lot of boost, so I guess that's a plus. And I believe from what I've seen, you're supposed to just run your regular bearings with that, not like a wider bearing, because the journals on here are raised. So you'll just use your regular bearing width, and then the rod itself, the fact that it's wider, it's just wider on these parts here. So that'll just hold the clearances tight between the crank, so they don't walk back and forth too much, because I was having an issue that I noticed when I put it all together. Got the rods in there on the back 2 cylinders because I didn't have the other rings gapped. The rods were moving back and forth, you know, like a centimeter or two, because they weren't guided by the piston or the crank. So they had a lot of play, which is, you know, as soon as you fire that up, it's probably going to bend the rods that bind up in there. So yeah, I might be putting the rods on these pistons for another brick if I can get one, or I might be selling them. I know the guy that I got this main cap girdle from, he said he wouldn't mind buying them, so I might cut him a deal, because he cut me a deal on that brace there. So that might be another route that I could go to be able to get those other rods, but we'll see. We are going to try to pluck away at it some more. I think all I have to get it sealed up is the oil pump, which I'm doing a Melling 144, I think, and I have to get the rods, the MLS head gasket, which I'm running it almost the same thickness. It's a little bit thinner, so it'll help with compression on those dish pistons. But head studs, and then decide if I'm going to port this head or if I'm going to buy a 531 Penta head and put on there. But either way, whichever way I go, if I do port that one or if I don't port it, I know I'm going to probably need to port it to run that amount of boost for sure. We'll see. The cam's definitely going to be pretty big. I think I'm going to go with a KT4 cam or a KL racing cam, one of the two. That's a pretty big lift and duration, just to help maximize power with the amount of boost and all that we're going to run. I do have a buddy that's going to cut the flange on that manifold, flip it, and re-weld it so we can have the turbo sitting upright. We are going to run a whole set HX40, so we will be running a turbo off, I think, a 5.9 Cummins and running about 40 pounds boost. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting to say the least. Once it's all together, I hope it holds up. This is my first build that I've done, rods and pistons. I've learned a lot so far about motors. I've never gone into depth on, like what the clearances do for a motor and stuff like that. I've only just done, cam swaps, motor swaps like LS into vehicles that didn't come with an LS, stuff like that. Just your basic stuff. Well, a little more than basic, I guess. So I've learned a lot about these engine specs and stuff, like the piston to wall clearances is needed. It needs more piston to wall clearance because those aluminum pistons are going to expand more under the high temperatures in the combustion chamber because of the amount of boost we're going to be running. So that aluminum is going to expand way more and faster than the cast iron block. So that's kind of common sense, but I didn't know the factors that the higher boost played in the combustion chamber. So hopefully the bigger intercooler will help a little bit. But yeah, we got that, and then didn't even know about piston or crank steered rods. I saw something about it, and I just knew that I needed crank steered, but for some reason I totally forgot when I ordered the rods, so that's a mistake on my end. But yeah, it's been a learning curve. It's been pretty interesting. I think with this build, when I get done, I might know just about everything I need to know with these B230 motors. So that'll be good to know. So if I ever build another one, I know exactly what I'm going to need up front and all that good stuff. So that'll be a nice little bonus. But yeah, I think that's about it for this video. I think that covers everything I've gotten done. I don't know of anything else I got done besides that. Yeah, I think this video, I know I filmed like another video before I went and had my surgery and was down, COVID, all that crap just happened in a week or two of each other. So it's been kind of a rough 2 weeks, but there's nothing to do about it. It happens. Got sick. I've had COVID twice now. COVID the first time wasn't, or second time wasn't nearly as bad as the first time. The first time, it was pretty bad body aches, and some congestion and a cough. Now it's just like a headache for a day, and then a fever for that day, and then after that it was just like a little bit of mucus and a cough. I mean, before I was stuck on the couch, just worn out, couldn't do anything. But today, like, I mowed the yard and stuff and put the motor together, but you can still tell that you're pretty weak. So that's why I didn't get too much done. But yeah, if you guys have any comments, feel free to comment down below. If you're still watching these videos, I appreciate it. I know it's been 3 weeks now, 4 weeks since then. Just switching jobs and all that, trying to learn new programs and focus on the money provider for the channel. So yeah, other than that, it's been pretty decent. Just been trying to take care of some things here and there. Did a timing belt on the V70 because it needed that. I need to get that done before I went on to getting my new job. My new job's like twice the distance traveling, and I didn't need a timing belt snapping, so I did do a timing belt on that. It's about a 40-minute to an hour process. Wasn't too bad. But yeah, I think that's it. My old S40 that I had, Swedish, they ended up calling and asking if I could wrap the or reupholster the sunroof shade to match the headliner, because I did a black headliner in there. I didn't have time to wait on the OE material, and plus it's way expensive, and that was just a little budget car. So I did get the same material and did that for them. It only took me about 30 minutes or so once I got all my tools together. So pulled that out and did that. Super simple. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Sorry it's been a hot minute since I've made a video. I do plan to continue YouTube and like the build series and all that, just to have a video of what I've done to the car. I think it'd be cool to have that. And then if it ended up picking some followers up and subscribers, that'd be cool. Go out to events, might meet some of you guys and all that, so that'd be pretty cool. But yeah, just stay tuned for more content. It still might be hit and miss here and there, but I'm gonna try to keep posting, you know, at least once a week if I can, or twice a week, or shoot, maybe once every couple weeks, depending on how things are going. So just stay up to date with the notifications, you know, that'll keep you notified when a video comes out. And just let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you have any questions. I'll try to answer the best I can, and get some more videos rolling as soon as I can, you know. So as always, like the video, comment, subscribe, and share with your friends, and we will see you in the next one. Peace.